Okay, so let's unpack this. We've pulled just one source today, but it's a really dense one.
Yes.
It's a single, highly motivational transcript from a video. The title is "All Wealth is Generated at the Beginning of Trends." Don't miss this Odo.
Yeah, and I mean, it's way more than just a motivational speech. What we have here from the speaker, Joel Therian, is it's like a perfect case study
A case study in what exactly?
in how to couple a huge disruptive financial philosophy with a really sophisticated real-time engagement playbook.
Right.
The philosophy tells you why you need to act, and the playbook tells you how you have to act right now.
That's exactly our mission for this deep dive. We're going to break this material down to understand two things. First, the core belief system he's pushing.
That wealth only happens at the very start of a trend.
Exactly. And second, how he engineers this immediate, like non-negotiable audience action using these multi-layered psychological strategies. This isn't just about making money.
No.
It's about analyzing the mechanics of conversion.
It's a deep dive into the rhetoric of inevitability. He's leveraging FOMO, the fear of missing out, and tying it directly to, actual dollar signs. We're watching a masterclass in driving intent.
So let's start with that central premise, the core philosophy of wealth generation. The whole video is built on this thesis of timing. What's his main argument about where wealth really comes from?
Well, it's an immediate dismissal of all conventional wisdom. The argument is that wealth isn't generated by slow, grinding effort or even your education.
Right.
He frames it as being about seasons and trends. You have to be positioned at the right place at the right time, specifically at the beginning of that trend. If you miss the start, you've missed everything.
And what's so interesting is how he immediately gets ahead of the audience's skepticism. That little voice in our heads that says, I'm not qualified for this.
Precisely. He consciously democratizes the whole path to wealth by saying traditional qualifications are just irrelevant. He says, and I'm quoting, wealth generation here is not about a PhD.
He just dismisses the viewer's education right off the bat.
Which is such a powerful piece of rhetoric because it immediately lowers the barrier to entry. If wealth doesn't care about your degree, suddenly this grand opportunity feels accessible to everyone, not just the financial elite.
It completely removes years of perceived struggle. And it validates the idea that, hey, anyone can jump on this fast track to extreme wealth as long as they listen to him right now.
And to give this bold philosophy some credibility, he immediately anchors the whole thing in a massive personal success story.
The dot-com boom.
The dot-com boom.
Yeah, the dot-com example is like the philosophical foundation of his entire claim. He talks about getting involved in the dot-com boom in 1998. What's critical here is the quantifiable outcome he gives you.
He says that one opportunity made me millions and millions of dollars, and it changed my life forever. I mean, that anecdote serves two key purposes.
Okay.
One, it proves the strategy works, riding the initial wave. And two, it establishes him as a veteran trend rider, which gives weight to his claim that he can spot the next one. He's saying, I have the receipts for this specific method.
Okay, so a success story is great for credibility, but that's not enough to drive immediate action. To really motivate, he needs to tap into regret.
Yeah.
Which is why he pivots immediately to the most painful lesson he ever learned, the cost of not taking his own advice.
And that leads us right into the emotional core of the video, what you called the pain of the missed trend. The narrative just flips from success to this classic cautionary tale of monumental regret.
He shares the anecdote of his 2011 misjudgment. A friend told him to buy this Bitcoin thing when it was only $1.
Just $1.
And you hear his initial reaction, which is designed to be so relatable to anyone who's hesitating right now.
He recalls his complete dismissal. He said, dude, you're out of your mind. And he was scoffing at digital whatever. That initial skepticism is so crucial because it mirrors the very doubt a viewer might have right now about digital insurance.
He's making his past self the stand-in for the current skeptic. And here's where the rhetorical mechanism gets, I think, really sophisticated. He immediately contrasts his own skepticism with his friend's current status. The friend who bought the $1 Bitcoin
is now worth over $300 million and lives in a 20,000-foot mansion.
I mean, talk about a textbook use of anchoring bias.
Oh, absolutely. That $300 million success becomes the anchor. It sets this impossibly high but very specific expectation for what you stand to gain by acting now.
And the 20,000 square foot mansion detail? That just makes it tangible, luxurious. It powerfully illustrates the potential cost of inaction. You're not just missing a little profit.
You're missing a life-altering fortune.
Can you imagine being that friend? You're the one who got told digital whatever, and now you're the centerpiece of a cautionary tale that's driving millions of views. That contrast alone is almost painful. It sets the stage perfectly. The viewer's thinking, I don't want to be the one who misses out again.
The entire first half of the message is just dedicated to setting up that historical context and the philosophical framework. So once the audience is motivated by both potential success and the fear of massive regret, he has to deliver the goods.
Right. We've established the philosophy timing is everything and the potential cost of missing it, hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So now we move to section 3, identifying the next massive trend.
And the specific current trend he introduces is called digital insurance.
We should probably pause here because this is where a real deep dive comes in.
Mm.
The term digital insurance is repeated over and over, but the source transcript deliberately leaves it vague.
It's so vague.
As a listener, you have to be asking, what even is that?
Exactly. It functions as a classic empty vessel term. It sounds official, it sounds important and forward-looking, but because it has no concrete definition, he has immense flexibility. It maximizes curiosity.
And it compels you to take the next action, clicking the link just to find out what it is.
Right.
By keeping it ambiguous, the urgency stays high.
And the language he uses to describe this vague opportunity is just so charged. He doesn't just call it a trend, he calls it a massive trend that's happening literally right now.
That will be exploding literally now.
The repetition of the word literally just emphasizes immediate, unmissable urgency. It's happening in this very moment, which psychologically makes you want to interrupt your day and investigate.
So what's the justification for this trend? Why should the audience believe this is the next Bitcoin or .com?
The rationale is framed as inevitable market evolution. The speaker argues that everything is going digital today, and he cites the obsolescence of older tech as irrefutable proof.
He specifically mentions fax machines and even credit cards as dying technologies.
Which is highly strategic.
Right.
By pointing to tangible items, I mean, fax machines are undeniably old, and digital wallets are replacing physical cards, he creates a perception that the entire old economy is just crumbling.
Okay, I see.
So if those things are obsolete, then the system that supports them must also be obsolete, making the shift to digital insurance seem not just profitable, but essential for survival.
Right. So if we connect this to the bigger picture, this is the final logical leap. He got rich in the .com boom, he missed the Bitcoin boom, everything is going digital.
So the only possible conclusion is that digital insurance is the next can't-miss opportunity. He tells the listener, you want to get involved really early with this one.
And with that, the entire philosophical structure, credibility, regret, inevitability is now in place. The audience is primed, urgent, and curious.
Which leads us to the second half of the message. This is pure actionable psychology. The engagement playbook. It's designed to convert a passive viewer into an immediate paying lead.
And this playbook starts with a non-negotiable scarcity tactic, a deadline. He opens this section by targeting only those seeing this before Thursday, January 8th.
That hard deadline, whether it's real or manufactured, it just forces your hand. Scarcity is one of the strongest drivers of human behavior. By attaching a deadline, he signals that this opportunity window is narrow and it's exclusive. You can't just save this video for later.
You have to act. Now, the first specific action he demands is step 1, personalized commitment. Through commenting, he instructs the listener to just comment below your income goal for all of 2026.
This is such an effective standard part of the playbook. It leverages the psychological power of public commitment.
Right.
By typing out their goal and hitting send, the listener isn't just privately thinking about wealth, they're publicly declaring a high-stakes aspiration. That makes them way more likely to follow through on the next steps just to avoid cognitive dissonance.
And he makes those goals immediate and tangible. He provides specific targets right there. $100,000 a year, $1 million a year, $5 million a year. He even validates these huge goals by saying, I know it's doable because I've done it myself.
And the specificity of the year, 2026, also helps credibility. It's close enough to feel real, but it's just far enough away to allow for this massive exponential growth.
So by posting that goal, the listener is signaling high intent.
And that allows the speaker to reach back out to you only if you're interested. It confirms the interest, and it creates a perfectly qualified, warm sales lead based on a stated financial target.
Step 2 targets the platform's algorithm, which I think is just brilliant. He's literally giving the listener an instruction manual for how to train the social media platform itself.
It's the triple action.
He lays out 3 required actions to signal your interest so you don't miss future information.
Yeah, this moves beyond simple engagement. It's about, like, algorithmic conditioning. You must, 1, double tap the video to like it, 2, save the video, and 3, follow the profile.
The explanation he gives is so transactional, it's brutally honest about the mechanism. He says performing those 3 actions will tell the algorithm that you're interested, so you won't miss the daily videos.
And that's key. He tells you that these daily videos will be critical to your success online. So, by performing the triple action, you are effectively guaranteeing content saturation. You're opting yourself into a perpetual content ecosystem where he is the sole source of critical information.
It's an elegant way to maintain control over your future consumption path. Finally, we get to step 3, instant access and personal contact. This is the final funnel designed for the fastest conversion. It's the classic click the link in the bio.
And this path is layered. Once you click the link, you don't instantly get the info on digital insurance. No, you're immediately prompted to watch a second video of him talking about digital marketing.
This secondary content is needed to further qualify the lead and introduce the underlying business model. After watching that video, you have to opt in with your name and email.
But the real kicker is the added layer of personalization right there on the opt-in form. The option to include a phone number for a personal phone call from the speaker himself.
That promise of personal contact that elevates the whole transaction. It's not just an anonymous opt-in anymore. It's a potential mentorship opportunity with a claimed multimillionaire.
It's pure scarcity principle. If you give him your phone number, you get personalized, direct access that nobody else gets.
And the payoff for completing this intense multi-step engagement playbook is instant access to all the information you're going to want to need and want about this massive exploding trend.
The entire sequence deadline, public commitment, algorithmic training, and the promise of personal contact, it's a high-pressure funnel. It's designed to overcome skepticism and just harvest immediate, actionable interest.
So what does this all mean? The source gives us this clear illustration of how high-stakes financial potential is linked directly to intense social media engagement and these aggressive, immediate opt-in strategies. The entire goal is to promise massive returns, specifically by 2026, by appealing fiercely to our fear of missing the next life-changing boom.
The duality here is just. It's profound. You have this grand, sweeping philosophical claim that wealth is generated solely by timing, completely divorced from formal education.
Right.
And that's all supported by this highly detailed, extremely urgent strategy for behavioral conversion. It's a masterclass in applying behavioral economics to trend speculation.
And the emotional climax is delivered right at the end. The speaker assures you that you will be super excited, you won't be able to sleep tonight, and you will certainly be thanking him tomorrow.
That emotional pre-framing, it attempts to solidify the commitment you just made through the opt-in. It makes the immediate future feel both exhilarating and mandatory.
Which raises an important question for you, the listener, to think about.
How does the promise of massive wealth tied to a deliberately vague term like digital insurance, how does that leverage specific quantifiable personal goals like those stated income targets for 2026, the $100,000, the million, the 5 million? How does it leverage those goals to drive such immediate and intense behavioral change?
I think you should really think about how that personalization of the goal influences the willingness to engage with such an aggressive, time-sensitive call to action.
That's a great note to end on. If you're looking for where the next trend starts, sometimes you have to watch not just what they're selling, but analyze the complex, strategic way they are selling it.
Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.